Welcome, everybody, to the Monday stream. Obviously, pre-market here in the US. And my goodness, what sneaky fake market futures we have seen, guys. Did you see the Asian session? Asian session positive 0.5%. Now we're negative. 10-year yield is spiking. Goldman Sachs is calling $90 oil. Not 100 yet, guys. Not 100, but they're calling 90. And I'm seeing really random articles everywhere. But firstly, I want to begin by giving a quick shout out to a member in the community. He's a bit of a donator here. You know him as Ulrich, and he doesn't know I'm going to say this, but congratulations on Rolls Royce, my man. Wow, look at that. Fantastic spot here. We talked about the technicals. We talked about the rip. And, of course, he's been rewarded today with a 9% up. Now, I know it's not, the same as maybe going and getting an AMC and getting a 20% day or one of these other stocks. But this is a serious stock in a pretty serious channel for quite some time. Many people have picked Rolls-Royce at different areas, and it turns out that it's coming good. Obviously, just hit the first resistance here at about 146. So congrats to that one. We'll just quickly load up Epic Pen. That's the tool I use. If anyone doesn't know, that's the one I use to draw with. So I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Rolls-Royce is obviously doing well, but the rest of the market, not so much. We've got some articles to come out here. We've got obviously get ready for growth stocks to come. Hey, I don't disagree. We'll talk about the 10-year in a second. And then Goldman Sachs now saying hike oil's forecast to $90, citing the hurricane. Most bullish hurricane in history. That is a terrible word. Most bullish hurricane. My goodness. It really is the Wild West out there. So let's take a look at this US 100. Let's get started by talking about the futures market. We're going to, looks like, open on support. So let's read some comments here. Frederick says, hi, Tom. When are we taking profits on oil? Oil is pretty much like a 77 kind of area. 74 was my first profit target. And then the next one is around 77. It's in the middle zone. We'll take a look at it soon, Frederick. Congrats if you've been in a great trading there, by the way. Thanks very much to the 400 people coming. Sorry I wasn't here on Friday. Jan Lupo says, a part of me was missing last Friday, Tom. Yeah, look, I had to take one day off. I had some prior commitments, and unfortunately, I just wasn't able to come. I usually do every day, but yeah. Murray says, bullish hurricane. Yeah, it's terrible. People are losing their houses and stuff, and the Wall Street's just like, oh, that's really good. I remember an article, and you guys don't care probably about this. A few years ago, there was some terrible stuff that happened in part of America, and all of Wall Street went down there. And somehow, if you can believe it, this is what they did. They got people on disability lists that were carers, and they went to their house and they bought it from them while they were at their worst. That was brutal. I remember reading that and I thought, oh man, some people have literally no morals. That was shocking to me. But anyway, hopefully it doesn't happen again. Let's go to the US 100. So we're going to open around support. You guys can see it here. It's literally resistance support 15,200. And this is a falling knife right now, guys. Do you want to pick it up straight away? I mean, some people might like that level, but it's all about the scale here. If you do pick this up, you've got to get down and dirty on the 1 minute, 5 minute charts, and then actually start to think about, well, is it picking up? Do we see the lightning bolt on these smaller timeframes? That's what you're looking at. The other thing is, why is the market down? You're probably asking the question. I put the sole reason, me anyway, one of the sole reasons is the 10-year. 4% up. Now, we know the 10-year shocks the Nasdaq in particular. That's why the Nasdaq's down 0.89% and the US 500 is only down 0.33%. That's just the Nasdaq stocks going down. People consider this idea of US 10-year up really smashes around the Nas. I think over the long term, it doesn't as much as you think. I don't believe that the 10-year is really showing danger signs yet. It could go a lot higher and still not really scare me. We've talked a lot about 2% being kind of one of the catalyst piggers. So if you're still bullish on the Nasdaq, am I worried about the 10-year? Not so much. What about you guys? You worried about the 10-year? Let me know. Musti says, Tom, I know you hate airlines, but in my opinion, Lufthansa, I guess that's how you say it, is it buy after the stock split? I got in at 615. There's nothing wrong with you can trade anything you want, man. I just don't personally like airlines because, well, if they were flying, which they barely are, there's always that chance that if one of them does go wrong or they don't service them correctly or something does happen, it can be it can hurt your particular stock. Now, how often does that happen? Incredibly irregularly. So that's right. Solid Snake says short term, yes. And then William Varley says not worried about 10-year. And William Capewell says, how low can Barber go? Yeah, we'll be taking a look very soon. So 10-year, it's really around that level. I expect it to be ferocious at the beginning here. We're really starting to tank through. We've got to watch that US 10-year. We talked about it in the weekend video. We knew about this. It's not like we didn't know this had been in recovery here. We got through one of my favorite things to see, which is the series of lower peaks being broken, and now it's off and running. Is it about at resistance? Probably. Let's just quickly get a bit of actually, we'll load up a volume profile as well for you guys. Some people seem to enjoy these. So I don't want that. Don't need that one. Okay. So around here seems to be a zone of previous support a fair bit. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, probably around there, about that 1.53. So it's getting pretty close to the next resistance. That might stop the 10-year a little bit, but overall still looking very bullish. Maybe a little pullback here and then go bullish again. All right, let's have a look at the US 500. 44.42. Also coming in weak. We know where the big bulls are. 44.90. We talked about the 450 calls on the SPY. So 450 calls on the SPY. So many of them. I expected that to be a bit of a problem running into October. Maybe it still will be. This weakness, I still say be fast and nimble in these markets, guys. So what I mean by that is if we look at any of these markets like QQQ here, it's at resistance on Friday. It's now opened up and then it's come back down. Yeah, so this is exactly the resistance, 373. It's selling off down to 369. You can see here, 369.87, right on support. So we're stuck within the zone. So if you're a bit of a day trader, you're looking for little movements up here, lightning bolts, 5-minute, 1-minute, 15-minute charts, and then through the session trying to trade it long. And if it does close underneath this zone here, what are you doing? You're looking for a close, pullback, small lightning bolt, and then you're taking shorts back down. If it gets underneath this 370 zone, let's just say it happens, I think that that's a catalyst for it to push back down and test the 360. Bears unite if that occurs. But at this stage, it's going to be a fight in the first hour. We'll probably get a bit of an idea of what's going on in the first hour. It's really hard to predict it right now because we're opening at support and we're coming down fairly fast. I feel like the 10 years going to struggle to continue to bull. See that 10-year just moved there about 0.2% down, and already the Nasdaq has responded quite positively to that, back above the 15.2. So what do you guys think for today? Bullish or bearish? Let us know in the chat while I read some comments. We've got Finken79. The big fear, Tom, would be planes full of wheat. It's pretty good, bro. For anyone that doesn't know, wheat once burnt me. It was a tornado or something. It took out the wheat fields, and my contract didn't go so well. Okay, so some people are bearish. Brian Jones says it's pronounced Ariane Evergrande. Very good, Brian. Thank you. Tesla, Barber, PLTR, you probably already had these in queue. Don't worry, CME, we've got them for you, man. We'll be covering those off. What's your opinion on the sharp TLT drop heading into today's open? Just because of the 10-year. 10-year yield up, the TLTs will go down. It's correlated together. So my opinion is really just the 10-year. 10-year is seen to be bad for growth stocks. Again, I think over the long term, it isn't. It's just that narrative that comes with it. And yes, Dave says Burry's salivating over higher yields. Burry's in the hole on that one quite a lot, Dave. So he better be getting that. Alpha T says, not taking my profits from oil. I like the dividends or whatever that is. Retail buy, the dip bounce, then lower throughout the day, says William Capewell. Well, it certainly is going to open on the right dip level. 15.2 is the dip level. If you've got steel, then you're looking at that zone. If you don't have steel and you want to play the game a bit smarter, you're looking for the lightning bolt. You're looking for the lightning bolt. At least it's made the market more, I guess, stuck between some zones here. We've got clear support levels. We've got some pretty good resistance levels in the real market between this zone. So we get breaks either way. We can start to trade through the week. That's fantastic. We could trade inside the range. I mean, the indices have been so much easier than stocks recently, but we do have some good stocks to cover tonight. Thank you as well to the 808 people joining us. If you guys smash the like button, it does help us out. And we'll move here into Tesla. So let's see what Tesla's opening up at. Down 0.44%. So if you're missing the Tesla so far, things have been going really well. And congratulations to the community that's been in this. We've been pretty bullish here for the last 2-3 weeks on Tesla. I guess we're being rewarded. Very nice movement up. In fact, what has the movement been up? About 11%, nothing to sneeze at. And if we're thinking about the weekly here, let's start with the top down. We've got a closure now above what we call the shooting star or the rejection pin. And this really shows that not only has the market considered this level, because it did consider it the week before, but it's prepared to move to the next zone. Now we're looking at bearishness here into the morning session, but notice how the Nasdaq is currently down 0.9%, yet Tesla is only down 0.51%. There is bullishness here in the charts. There's a bullishness across the board. It's gotten past this big bit of resistance, and hopefully it continues on. We're sitting at 774. Let's talk about some of the key levels that we'll be looking at today. So one of the key zones is, of course, going to be the 763, 762 zone. You've got previous resistances becoming supports. You basically got BAM, and then you're looking for that long. And I've got relatively, it's hit the first target. We always had 774, 775 as our first target. But there's some real potential here. I'd like to hear from the room. Where do you guys think Tesla's going? And I don't want to hear 3,000. I want to hear something relevant. Let's say I'll give you guys till December this year. So the calendar year, where do you think by Christmas in the US, you guys getting some snow in Christmas, where do you think Tesla's going to be? Maybe even Tesla car will be in the Christmas stocking if it gets high enough. Solid Snake says Apple taking down QQQ. Absolutely. We'll take a look in a second. So Tesla 762 seems like a really tank level. We scroll over here and we have a look at some of the strikes. They're not the strikes I want. 1 second. Where are we here? Here we go. So this is the Tesla strikes this week. The reason why it's unlikely to go very low, look at all the puts. It's just a put fest. 800, certainly some calls, but the puts are all over that 700, 720. Maybe Michael Burry took some of the yields up and he's trying to short off that Tesla. Okay, here we go. People coming in. PK Subban says 500 Burry will be correct. Fair enough. We're talking, so by December, yeah, PK. You have to be by December. I don't want Burry in 2 years' time and then be correct. J Nivell 780. Sean Tay says over 900, close to 900, 950. Solid Snake 1,000. Few people at 550. And Scott Morgan says TSLA at 840 by December. Yeah, I'm tending to think like an 840, 880 actually is quite possible. If it gets running, it can be there very, very quick. So at this stage, 762, previous resistance should act as support. Even if the market's coming down, that's going to be a very key level to look at. And yeah, it's pretty nice. VIX spiking slightly. Won't spike as much as you would think because this isn't only a 10-year yield kind of issue at the moment. That's why the US 500 is not down so much and the Dow actually doesn't care. And a few people are mentioning Apple. So let's take a look at Apple here. Down 0.74% in the morning. Not huge down. Previous support becomes resistance. We did talk about the weakness in the FANG. If you actually go and have a look, it's like it's premeditated. Check out this. If we go and have a look at the heat map here, this is the heat map for Friday. Actually, the full week. What do you notice about last week? Microsoft, Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, these FANG-style stocks, Netflix as well, they were all literally either down to partially flat. So when you've got down to partially flat markets, what's that really telling you? You've got some stocks. Look at the boomer stock here in terms of boomer tech, CRM, one of my favorites. I've told you guys for how long have I talked about CRM? I mean, it's Boring. I get it. It's boring, but it's finally finding its feet. At the same time, the FANG is getting beaten down, and I think that was a premeditated attack for the 10-year moving out. Energy looking good. So Apple at resistance here in the peak. Things to watch for this chart. Let's take a look. Is there a bit of a trend line here? Not really, I don't think. Some people may have that drawn. I wouldn't trade that, but anyway. Probably be looking for weakness under here if I wanted to take shorts on Apple under 145. 145, maybe 40, something like that. You've got like a peak. It's very hard to short stocks, so I usually don't like to do it. And if you're looking for buy levels, I mean, fantastic level will be down here if it does occur. Or just something like this. Pulls back, bounces, smaller time frame, lightning bolts, and then you obviously want it to break past here. Once it breaks past here, it's looking a lot better back to the 150. A donation here from William, $5. Why calls last week didn't stop Tesla's run? There wasn't enough calls on it. There's more puts. Did you see the puts around the strikes? So I think people need to think about this way. First off, if we're using calls and call walls and put walls, what do we want to have first off happen? Well, we really want to understand specifically the price action. So price action is going to be very important if we're going to use this strategy. Second thing that we want to understand is if we're going to use options and put and call walls, then if the price action, let's say the price action is currently up because it was, and we have a huge amount of puts, that's actually a massive smiley face positive for the price action being positive, because what's happening is the market's going up. It's saying bullish, 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 yet we can see it in the options. People are going negative. It's even more bullish at that point. And that's kind of what was happening. That's what was happening. Now, if you take a look at the example like AMD a little while ago, price action was actually up and options was also bullish. There were call walls everywhere. So when they're going together, you may not want to use them as much. The idea is if you have like a market that's topping and then you see a huge amount of calls coming in, price action is neutral, and at the same time you have a huge amount of bought calls, then what you can do is you can potentially sell against that. It's about thinking the price action comes first. Recognize the pattern, recognize the trend, use the call walls and put walls to think, what would I do if I was trying to make maximum amounts of money as Wall Street? That would be one thing that I would go with. Jack Murphy says Tesla's moving a lot in the pre-market. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Let's go through a couple of commodities here. Let's do US oil to start off with. Congratulations, oil traders. Not only is Goldman behind you, but I believe you've spotted fantastic stuff. We've talked about this for a little while. There's, again, very similar style recovery trend line. Get the bullishness. Great trades off here. Some nice double bottoms. We saw a new peak, broke through that peak, 74, and now it's looking towards, I mean, this is maybe a marginal resistance that it's on, and next level is 77. And then if it gets past 77, well, we'll revisit it then. But yeah, fantastic buying going on here. Let's go down to the 1 hour. And what you'll notice is the 1 hour 50 seems to be like kind of a zone for pullbacks. Little flaggy just happened there. There's a little flag. Hopefully it keeps rallying. Tom, can we check NVIDIA, please? It keeps on gapping down after it goes up. Sure, we'll do that. Where can I see the put and call walls? You can get it in our private community, 7-day free trial with the robot. You can just request it on your favorite stock. I would suggest you try there. If you like it, then you feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, you can really make your own put and call walls very easily by looking at Yahoo options as well and just having a look for all the big strikes. A little bit more work, but you could do it manually. What's going on with PayPal? It's kind of asleep. Yeah, we'll check that out in a sec. All right, keep going through some stocks here. So we've got Square to start off with here, down a little bit. Looks like Square kind of based last week. I'm not sure if I'm feeling bullish on it, but it did base on the 2 hour. We got that low at 247. We got the breakout. Got some strength here on Friday. Go down to the 2 hour and I'll show you what I mean. There's the base, the bottoming, the lightning bolt, pulled back. So far, so good. We'll see how that goes. I don't love this trade, but it is there. A few people want PLTR, so we'll do this one. There we go, PLTR. Now, PLTR tends to get beaten around if the market does come down. So this chart looks pretty bullish to me. What do you guys think? You bullish on this? Broke above, rallied, sold off, back to the 20. So watch that daily 20, guys. Daily 20. Super buy level so far on PLTR. It most likely will turn this morning down. It can get beaten very quickly. So we can see this thing down 3 or 4% very quickly. Maybe 27.31 might be an interesting zone. 27.30. And if it does crack this high, of course, 30, very probable. And at that point, it could be really off. So watch this, because we just closed above a very big range for a long time. And that's predicting some pretty large moves. And specifically 30, specifically that 34, 35. And we know in the past it went as high as $45. Kathy sold a lot of PLTR. Yeah, look, I mean, I don't buy it fundamentally. That's just my opinion. I buy it because it's got good pattern on it. So if you were looking at, it's more about pattern, this is more of a trade for me. Some people do like it a lot. Scott Morgan, $5 says, Tom, after watching USA destroy EU in the Ryder Cup this weekend, I'm interested in going long in Eli. Thoughts? It's a bit brutal. Callaway Golf. We did like that a little while ago. No golfing in Australia. Not at the moment. Let's take a look here. That's how I would look at it, sir. Kind of just on that resistance at the moment. Need that extra push through, get a new peak, and then, yep, could be on. Nice base, double bottom, consolidating above, downward trend line, fairly solid. It's our favorite type of recovery play. All right. Kathy sold 35 million of 2 million stocks of PLTR. It's not a lot for an ETF, probably getting overweight. It certainly could be. If you ever want to check Kathy's weighting, just go to kathysark.com. That, I think it's like Kathy's Ark, search it in Google. It's quite good. That's what I would do. So you guys know how this plays out. I'm sure Scott's very, very well aware. Thank you as well to the 1,076 people out there this morning. Markets are down here, well, specifically in the Nasdaq. For anyone that's joining us, it's the 10-year yield that spiked. The 10-year yield pretty much hit around resistance then and has dropped off substantially. It was about 4% at the start of this stream, less than half an hour ago. So 23 minutes ago, it's already dropped 1.5%. We're at around support here coming into the market. So play it careful this week, and we'll look back over that very, very soon. Let's keep going through some stocks. Let's go to NVIDIA. We got a request for NVIDIA. And we'll do this one. And then I'll show you some favorites that I went through with the private community. I'll show you a few of those if you get lucky. NVIDIA here. Fantastic. Let's take a look at it. So it's down 1.36% here, 217. I like, well, you know, I left this zone from last week. So yeah, look, NVIDIA, when it hit this zone, was very, very tasty. Anyone get this one? 209. Anyone pick this up? People don't understand how active ETFs work. That is true. Kathy could be literally doing a little bit of trading. Could be percentages, all sorts of things. Saying Freudian says golf is a long walk spoiled. You might get a couple of haters there for that one. ACK says, be careful. Elay got stuck in it, can move sideways for a while. Yes, it's a sugar rush stock at the moment. So it's all about watching that recovery play. That trend line is solid. Remember, it's the double bottom into the recovery play, which is breaking that trend line. Got it at 206 as Midas Touch. Fantastic. Got in at 211. No worries. I personally would have taken it off at the gap, close if I was looking for the trade, unless you've got more plans for it. This level here made a lot of sense to me. I know it went higher, and you could say, Tom, it went higher, but this makes a lot of sense. This trade here to here, fantastic. What it's doing today, nothing much. Nothing much. I would be probably scrolling into maybe like an hour chart, trying to understand if there's any rhyme nor reason to it. And I don't really think there is. There's no strong technical bias here or anything like that. So I like that 210, 208 level. At this stage, I don't really feel there's a strong kind of position there. Do you guys see anything? Do you see something I don't on these higher time frames, not the 5-minute charts? Nothing I see that makes me feel fantastic there. It's just fine. Adequate. Pins, not much going on. We'll skip over that one. Roku. This is strange. I can't believe it, but if you think about it, this actually never held the close. So take a look at this. Remember the day it opened? This was Thursday last week. It opened above here. Finally, the base formed on Roku. We got the open and we went bearish, and that negates any bullish close above. There is no bullish close above. There's a gap, then a failure. Then we got another red one. So if you're looking at Roku, you're still looking for it to close above these zones. Don't ignore that. Don't worry about that candle, because it gapped and went bearish. We need a 329 plus closure, and I think that Roku is probably based at that stage. So if you're interested, that would be the zone. Alpha T, $2. CPI, obviously from a technical standpoint. CPI, FTSE is looking for that 0.52 pence break. That sounds very small, that stock. CPI on the FTSE LSE. Ooh, I don't know if this is the right one, but yes, I like your chart, sir. Yeah, fantastic. Series of higher lows coming into it. Great ascending here. Yeah, nice. Hope you get it, sir. It looks very positive with those series of higher lows, the strength coming through, the consolidation, obviously the rally followed by the consolidation. That'd be cool. Hey, mate, Square. Yeah, we took a look at Square just before. Thank you very much, Monica Nakamura. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let's keep going through a couple of these stocks. I'll introduce a couple of new ones. So we'll do TTD to start off with. Don't mind the chart here on TTD. The trade desk. Base formation formed on the trade desk. Closed above all the moving averages. Rejected it. You'll notice it's down 0.6% here in the open. 76. Got support around that 74.50. And we do have a base, which is nice. Do we have a trend line? Not really, but overall above all the moving averages. It smashed all those moving averages there. So I would like to see this thing go long, targets in and around this resistance. Got a new member joining us as well, Max Mark. Let's give you a clap. Thank you very much, Max. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you for supporting me and the community on YouTube. Appreciate it. Solid Snake, don't worry, we haven't forgotten that one. Another one that I was scanning through was LRCX. Don't even know what it is. Don't particularly care. Not a bad resistance zone. Nice base formation. Electronic product equipment. Basically looking for a closure above. Movement into 660. Very solid resistance there that's been formed. I enjoyed that one as well. And of course, last week we had Snap. That was a great trade and continues to be something that we plan on taking to the 88 target. Fantastic support, fantastic hold. I don't particularly like Snap. I don't use it. I don't even know really how it works. I haven't used it since 2013, maybe when it came out. But I'm sure it's improved. And for me, it's a buy the rumor, sell the fact. We've got earnings here, 30th. Snap had great earnings, obviously supercharged itself previously. It's not without its own risks, but you can clearly see this great movement, this great rejection, the great base. We've discussed this a few times. Anyone on the snaps, the snips, the snaps? The snips and the snaps. Thank you very much, Sherlock Holmes. Full in Japan says, Tom, can you check my super chat? Sure can. Dave, could you just grab that for me? For Full in Japan super chat? Must have missed it. Scott says, morning, bud. Where can I find the TradyTix link for the free trial? Dude, just jump on over to fxevolution.com and you can sign up there for free for 7 days. Follow the instructions, put in the little member ID, message me if you're having problems and I'll fix it for you. All good. Macy's, please. All right, Glenn. And I've also got Full in Japan's. What is Macy's code? Is it this? M, yeah? God, I don't even know this stock. Is it like I would trade it? I don't think I've ever traded this stock. I thought it was dead. Macy's. I thought Macy's was dead, guys. I thought that was a 1990s catalog. Damn, if you got that though, nice work on the 20. Fantastic. What a great zone. Resistance, 200 weekly. Oh, and it loves the 200 weekly. Look at the left, 200 weekly. Bam, resistance. It gets smashed by resistance again and again and again. It closes above and you get the retest. Oh, dude, if you traded off that, congrats, man. That's fantastic. And you've also got that weekly 20 coming behind, giving you the full-on support. What a great level. I may not know the stock that well and know if it's any good, but that's a great level. Lightning bolt, I can already tell it's on the 4-hour, 2-hour. Got the trough, the peak, the higher trough, the higher peak. I think this is getting ready to smash a new high. All the signs point to it. Would I trade it now? Probably not. Do I mind 2250? Yeah, I think 2250 is pretty good. And would I hold my position? Yeah, I probably would. Nice. All right, let's do Full in Japan's LCID. Lucid Group. Thank you very much for the 200 yen. I know everyone got hyped about this last week. I mean, it's in limbo land. Previous resistance becomes support. You've got the $29 area up here. I'd just be looking for it to kind of ramp into that long leg doji. If we take a look at actually the last 2 days, this is where it tells you. So you got a rejection. Look for follow through above this for today's session. And then you could look at like scales and then scales above this one. And then you're hoping for a bullish daily close above the long leg doji in this rejection wick. And if you get that, then the next stop would be 28. And then after that, of course, it could go insane. Not without its own risks, this. This is not for the faint of heart. It's the crazy gambler stock. Crazy gambler stock. And then you want Filu, which is, what's that, Filecoin or something. We'll take a look at crypto in just a second. Crypto has my interest. It's piqued my interest this week, crypto. This is on support, but meh. It's like catching the falling knife. Too early to tell on this, sir. 20 moving average, 4 hours, currently resist. I want to see more like that. Get through there. Maybe a recovery. Don't like that chart so much. We did pins before, Nula. It's not through yet. It's looking better, but not through yet. Macy's to hire 76,000 workers before holiday season. Yeah, but they probably, furloughed all of them. They probably just had them sitting there at home getting government stuff. Of course, they're going to hire a lot. I'm not sure if I see that as that positive. It just seems like a lot of wages they have to pay. Now they've got to actually present good deals so people buy all their stuff. Here's an interest. Since you've opened up in America, because I know it's partially open in places, have you guys been going to malls more or less? Tell us in the chat. Here's the answer. Have you been going to malls, department stores more or less? LCID is a buy at 20. It's a sell at this price, says Silver Liner. There you go. What happened with the Nasdaq? 10-year, 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 10-year. That's from Elite Crypto. The 10-year yield spiked and smashed the Nasdaq round. Nick M Power. It's common. Well, I'll just let you guys know it's commonly thought of that when yields go up or they spike, it's bad for growth stocks. I have seen over the proven track record, it doesn't tend to happen as much as people believe. Nick M Power, $5. Any advice for day trading? Educational content. T triple Q. Wanting to average a few tenths of a % a day. Been doing decent with paper trading so far. Yeah, I mean, how could you be losing there? We'll take a look in just a second. Bitcoin. There are risks though. We'll talk about it. Bitcoin, US dollar. I quite like what it's done. We've got a base within a base. So we've obviously had 4 tests of this level. We've double bottomed some of it. We've then broken above, found bullishness. We've got 45K is where we're through to the keeper. So that's when it really starts ramping. I really like this Bitcoin chart. It's been dodgy recently. We know it hasn't been that great. Not that great technically anyway. I got pretty happy for it there. Obviously the resistance. And then if it got through, oh my God, I was uber bullish if we'd gotten through that zone. And now back over here, we have a double base, double bottom. We've got a double bottom within a double bottom. And if we get both, then it should be talking about this level again, more about 46, etc. Ethereum looks very similar. Look at Ethereum. 3,200, still the resistance. The double bottom base, the closure above. Actually, Ethereum's stronger than Bitcoin right now. Another great sign. Let's hope it keeps it up for the next couple of days. Then we've got ADA showing weakness in comparison. It looks like KSM just starting to pop now. It's very similar pattern, see? Triple bottom. The bottom in the base. Closed above. Previous resistance becomes support. Ramps to 360. If it gets through 360, fantastic days. DeFi has also been going nuts over the weekend. Mohammed Al-Masari says, Tom, what do you think of Cardano? Looks slightly bearish. Yeah, I agree. Cardano is losing its luster. People are dumping it, and this does not look positive. I mean, in a positive market, you get, nice base, you get a closer above, and it ramps, and it keeps making a series of new highs and obviously comes back. This has gone new high, fantastic. Flash crash, fair enough. Gone to the resistance, good. Then it's come up, failed, and then coming back down. So if it gets under here, what's it got? Peak, trough, lower peak, lower trough. Sequence is complete for negativity. You are correct. So Cardano, nowhere near as strong as the Ethereum looking charts, the BTC charts, the KSM charts. They look much better than this thing right now. All right, let's take a look at T triple Q. This is the ProShares Ultra Pro. So if I remember rightly, this was a leveraged, we don't have this in Australia. It's an American thing. It's obviously a leveraged ETF, yeah? So there are risks in leveraged ETFs. It's all about how much leverage did they take. And of course, if you're what age group are you? Now, I cannot give you advice or comment on this too much, but you know that returns are very, very healthy and very good. What you don't want is markets that come down heavily and take a long time to come back. Depending on when a market crashes with these, you can really get smashed around. Now, you might look at this and say, but Tom, I wouldn't have got smashed there. Take a look at the 2018 into 2019 and look how long it took to recover. It didn't recover properly. Now, why does that happen? It's because it degrades heavily in big crashes. It deleverages itself. So it's 3x the QQQ. Yeah. So when you're going into crashes, it can be very detrimental to your account and very scary. When you're in incredibly bullish markets like right now, if you dollar cost average into this and the market keeps going up over time, you will be up more money than the Nasdaq. Of course, it's leveraged. Yes. So it's all about, do you believe there's another one of these events, or specifically this event over here? Because this was much worse. This was so quick, it actually came back heavily. But take a look. This was much worse. It didn't come back strongly. It took longer. If you can believe it, the whole pandemic was faster than the 18 into 19 period. The interest rate is, I think, about 0.95%. So my suggestion is just know the beast that you are trading, know the risks, and there are other risks, understand them. And then if you are in the age bracket and prepared to take that, possibly it could be part of what you're doing. And what you're looking at doing anyway. 3x is, they do a 3x fund for a reason. What do you guys reckon would happen if they did a 5x fund? Let me know. Big brains in the chat. Tell me what would happen if you had a 5x fund in the stock market. Let's see if anyone realizes. Do I have the skills to hold it and go long? Oh, man. SKLZ. Is that thing still down the bottom? It's in the doldrums. Every time it ramps, everyone gets excited. And then I always say, yeah, it looks pretty sick. It comes right back down to the downtown. That's where you get excited again. 1280, 1270. What a phenomenal base it would be. Fantastic if it got through. that would be great. But at this stage, no. Amazon, if you guys are interested in that one, where's that this morning? Actually, lower than you'd think. Convoluted chart. I do like Amazon to the end of the year, but yeah, convoluted chart. Google's. Don't like the Googles at this price. Love the stock, but I don't like it at this price. Look at these fangs. They're all just filled the gap, and they look like they're turning around a little bit here early in the morning. End phase, still kind of sick, looking for a 160 plus closure. Microsoft, I'm not bothering with that because of the buyback on it. Beam, 95, great stock, but yeah, not without its own risks in a little bit of consolidation. Let's have a look at CRISPR. Is that broken underneath? Oh, CRISPR's still on. See, this is a sick looking stock. You look at this and you think, does this look like a buy? I like the 128 if it closes above, but down here, just trying to catch that falling knife constantly. And this is like making a series of lower highs. That's not good. Not good. Let's go with big brains. Urban Elemental says 5x would have a huge leak in value. And then Kunal, oh, you got a big brain, Kunal. Congratulations. I'm sure someone else would say that. 0% lol. That's right. You would lose all your money. It would explode. That's what would happen. It would literally explode. Conscious investing also gets it correct. And Solid Snake says it becomes crypto. Yeah, it becomes a dead ETF. That's right. The decay, no, not the decay. It's lit. The decay was definitely going to hurt you, but it would just explode. Last year, it would just blown up. Goodbye. It's all over. Chris Alexander says 2x is much fun. No, you would certainly get mashed. It would destroy your account. Think about the big pullbacks, the global financial crisis. This is what you got to always think about: risk. Remember, big Wall Street, big brain Wall Street, rich people, they don't think about returns as much as they think about risk versus the return. What is their Sharpe ratios? What are these ratios? What are they getting from their clients? They've got to move big money, and their ultimate goal is not to lose 1%. If they underperform the market for a couple of years by 1%, they can get away with it. But they all think about, how much risk do I need to take to get my reward? That's the most important thing. And I don't think enough retail traders think about this. Let's have a look at AMC and GME now. I haven't really paid too much attention to them the last couple of days because I think they're stuck in ranges that bore us. And I kind of stand by that. They, unfortunately, are in ranges that bore us. Got that nice little sup there happening at 38. We've got the little resistance at 42-ish. And we're stuck in the middle of boringness. Close above Fantastic. We filled the gap, 44. We'll be watching it very closely at that point. But at this stage, yeah, meh. It's stuck there, guys. It's stuck. And GME looking quite sick. Back to 185. This actually looks terrible. I hope it can hold that zone for you. If it doesn't, back down to 170 we go. Hermit Fisher, $20. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Here's a little loot to go fishing. No worries, man. I will show you the fish, Permit Fisher, for your $20. If I ever get out of the lockdown, I'll go get some snapper, sir. And I know you're a bit of a fishy. You can send me a Discord and I'll send you my biggest fish of the season if I ever get out there. I fish in the market and I fish in life. All right. Let us keep going here. We'll go through all these stocks. We've got 14 minutes till the market opens. For anyone that's joining us, thank you as well to the almost 1,200 people here smashing that like button or dislike if you don't like it. And of course, subscribing if you can and donating and members and everything. The chat's all good. 0.86% down on the Nasdaq caused by the 10-year yield. The 10-year spiking just quickly. Here is the spike. We talked about it on the weekend video. This is always a perceived problem. People perceive that the 10-year spike kills growth stocks, and especially when it's going hard, it can hurt the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq's going to open around 15.2. 15.2 is technically a support zone. We've seen it buy once, twice, and become resistance a few times. If you're thinking of taking the 15.2, it's probably a scale opportunity where you're looking mostly for lightning bolts, for little changes of trend on the smaller time frames. And if you do take it long, well, it's very clear that your take profit target is something up there. Be careful out there, guys. It's Monday. It's sneaky Wall Street. And we've kind of thought about this. And remember, on the SPY, 450 calls are rampant. So we'll see how they look tomorrow. Remember to subscribe, watch the daily video. All right, let's do these stocks. Let's smash them out here. Let's have a look. Got SPLK still at support, boring stock, actually creating an inverse head and shoulders on the smaller time frame. Check this out, 2 hour. And if we get a bit of base formation here, we've got a great resistance there. That would be left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then bullish action. What is that? About 154-ish for SPLK. If you're not sure about the bigger time frames, take a look at the huge inverse here. Left, head, right, bang. All these moving averages still looks quite strong. It is a boring stock and will take time. Another boring stock, CRM, fired. Fantastic level. Klim, congratulations on this one. You actually pointed it back out to me. 50 exponential moving average plus resistance becomes support. It's all those little smidgen things together. That's fantastic. We got the great earnings result and it's going ballistic. All-time highs. Fantastic. Definitely scaling a percentage off here. I've been bullish on this for a long time. I guess it's rewarded me really better than a hyper stock. I mean, where was I really going nuts about? About 220. So that's not too bad. TDOC. This stock is so horrid. Unbelievably horrid to investors. Kathy Wood's favorite or second or third favorite. There's a downward slope here and we're looking for the stages of recovery. At this stage, we're just watching. What can we do? We know it's at support, but we don't care until it gets through. Barber. People ask me, where does this stop? The pain looks set to be for like a 130. 130, 130, 130. Chillax. Alet says, big thanks on the Rolls Royce trade. Nicked $12,000. Chillax. You should super chat me right now for creating a great community where Ulrich told you about Rolls Royce. So $12,000. That's at least a coffee, man. That's at least a coffee. No, congratulations. In all seriousness, that's some good money, bro. That's some good money. Well done. 130. I don't know. I don't touch the barber. The barber is the falling knife, slitting everywhere. There's cuts all the way through my arms. Everyone that's saying it's fundamentally cheap, it hasn't based, guys. It's scary. Stay away from the barber until we see base formation. That's usually what I do. The Baidu, slightly less scary, but still terrifying. We're probably looking at 175 before we really see recovery there. JD, ugh, it's all bad. Just get out of here. We'll go back to it in a few weeks or days' time. Twilio, meh. Really nothing much here for us yet. Looking for some resistance, maybe 3. We'll come to Twilio tomorrow. Nothing much. NVIDIA we've done. Pins, we're just still looking and waiting. I think pins will come back good, but just not yet. Roku, we did it. Etsy, still fantastic. It's boring, but it's going all right. It's going up slowly after it broke through the resistance. It's been mostly bullish, which is good. DKNG, oh, Scott, man. On support, on the bottom of our box, we need the turnaround story, and we need it quick. We need it quick. Lieutenant Dan says, stay away from the barber. That's right. The barber is such a great, it's terrible, but it's a great story for retail to understand that sometimes a great stock, not a bad stock, gets busted through. And there's only one reason why, guys. Let us know in the chat, and it's not to do with China. There's a word. I want you to imprint this word into your mind. And I wish I could go back to 16-year-old me and tell myself about this one word. The only word that matters in stocks, and it ain't fundamentals, and it's not even technicals. There is one word that matters. Airbnb will what's basically hit profit now. So we're kind of done with that. Intel. Now, I've been bullish here on Intel into the end of the year. I got actually a small scale in. I'm still watching this Chop City, and it is Chop City. So, yeah, nothing extra here on Intel, but we'll keep watching. Spot, not too bad support line if you like Spot. It's okay. Probably come back to it. Netflix looks pretty solid. I mean, we liked that buy there the other day. Big bounce. Wouldn't mind seeing follow through action above like 593.64. Not my favorite. NVAX, I still like this stock. I've been buying a little bit, but we'll see. Come on now. Get it through NVAX. Otherwise, it's going to punish me. He could get punished. 117 here on Futu. Nothing much going on. PayPal was requested before. It's just terrible boringness, but I still like the overall stock. Filled the gap. Little resistance here at 280. Needs to get back above 280 to resume its uptrend. Unfortunately, Square and PayPal coming into weakness at this stage. ZM, terrible. Nothing much we can do unless you want to somehow take that. Twitter actually looks okay, but not sure if I'd pick it up that price. 10-cent in the middle of the range. Zillow will keep watching it, looking for that recovery of the massive trend line. Rio, that's an Australian stock. Don't worry about that. AMD, let's go to the 2-hour. Ooh, it's a nice little resistance there for AMD. 107. And decent support, 103. Kind of like two zones, little buy, little sell, little buy if it gets through. Could be there. LUMN. That's what I'm talking about. There's so much better base there. That's such a better stock to trade, just in general. This is the type of thing that makes me excited because you've got like resistances, and then you've got all these moving averages acting as support, and you've got the potential of really good gains. I mean, I don't know this stock very well, but it's much better than a lot of those ones we've seen so far. Now, let's see if you guys got the word, and it's not Tom Barber. Says Lewis, it's not Tom Barber, man. Not dollar cost average, guys. A few of you have got it correct. It is not that, Vikash. I'm not even going to say it. It's sentiment. Moat, also really good, Joshua, so no worries. Moat, fantastic for long-time investments, but in general, the most important word is sentiment. Sentiment drives success in the markets, basically confidence. Snap looks good still. Mac. Don't know why we got that there. Must have been a super chat. This is now no good, so we'll get rid of this one. LRCK, that's one that I found. I just thought it had a good resistance on it. ADSK as well broke out. That has a good breakout on it. You can see that base formation, and TTD on the base formation as well. So we have 5 minutes till the market's open. Let's get it all in. And we've got a couple of requests here What do you think about Fubo, Tom? We did just quickly gloss over it. Let's go back to it. This is from Slobodan Jaskoski, I think. Oh, man. It's like my last name. It's like my middle name is impossible to pronounce. Thank you very much, bro. Look, the problem with Fubo is it's on support, which you're very well aware, I'm sure. It doesn't have the signs of like strong recovery or anything just yet. I mean, where is our signs of lightning bolt? Where are our signs of double bottoms on the smaller time frames? We need some base maybe, and then a closure above. Little lightning bolt, bro. Even if it gets above there, I mean, we've got strong resistance at 34. Hey, you get above 34, you're fantastic. This base, similar to this, if this happened again, you get a closure out, you can take that puppy along. But little lightning bolt, there's the lightning bolt, you can get a little trade in there. But at this stage, just on the support. If you like it for your investment purposes, then yeah, it's on support. That is all we can really go with there. Andre says, Tom, why shouldn't we worry about Australian stocks? Oh, we certainly should. But the Rio stock there that we bought up, I didn't mean to have it in the charts here. So for a lot of people, basically with Rio, iron ore, I love iron ore, guys. The dirt in Australia is very fantastic. There are some good trades, actually. One of them was Redfin for Australians out here. It's a Redfin. This is from one of the private community members. You can see very fantastic. Look at that. Got great lightning bolt here going into resistance. And then we've got huge trend line down. Oh, sorry. This is the Nasdaq stock. What am I talking about? But anyway, we're getting the closure above there. And then we have Rio, which is the Australian iron ore stock. This is a different type of play. It's not really a strong technical buy. You have the support around 93. You've also got huge resistance at 107. But yes, this effectively is, you can play it different ways. There's options contemplation here, so that's why I went over it. Redfin's like Zillow. Yeah, it is. But it's got better trade. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, says Aaron Price. That's 3 words though, man. Fang. 2 minutes to ding ding. That's right. Let's go into the 4 screens. Thank you very much to the 1,152 people viewing today. Appreciate it. Let's scroll over here. We're going to open right on our support, 15,200. So 15,200 on the Nasdaq. Tesla is going to open at 773, showing the way it's done. Look at this. So much stronger on Tesla. Barely even feeling it here into the open. There's the resistance break, support around 762 coming in today. You guys can decide, what do we want in the top left? Vote for it now. Spam it in the chat, whatever you want. And we'll obviously have the US 500 on open. 44.90, heavy resistance, and decent support at 44.30 for the S&P. John Smith, NKLA, please. It has double bottoms. Let's take a look. NKLA. Nicola. Yes, it does. You are correct, sir. Nice double bottom. Actually got a double resistance here as well. Resistance, resistance, closed above. Nice. Yeah. If you like this, then yes, you are correct. Nicola, I thought this was dead. I thought it was dead, guys. But it's not dead. It's back. Thank you very much, Barak. Thank you, Dukesh. Does shorting TLT make sense if you believe the 10-year yield is going to keep going up? Yes. Bull or bear today? We're at support on the Nasdaq into the open. Tom, time to jump into BTC. I covered BTC a little bit before. I quite like the charts. Does anyone else use the Wall Street bell as their morning alarm? That might be insane. But yeah, you're okay, Scott Morgan. I don't know. That might drive me nuts. Nicola, the truck that rolled down the hill. Here we go, guys. We've opened. It looks like you guys wanted PLTR, so we'll pop that on there. Palantir opened 28.20. Tesla 774. It's a tank, I'm telling you. Look at it go. The retail people, they're buying. They're like, oh my God, they've watched YouTube videos on the weekend. They're excited, very excited. And they want that 780. 780 will be the interesting call option strike to watch. This one already getting a lot of interest on the Friday session. So we will watch off 780. Slightly upticked here in the US 500, 15,200 find support buying initially. Looking for a bit of base formation. Let's take a look at the futures on the Nasdaq to get an understanding of what's happened so far. Fake market futures have bought off 15.2. They've moved up to the 15.230. They've come back down. So if you were trading fake market futures from a TA perspective, you're looking for a closure above 15.230. I would tend to think buy the dip happens during the retail side. And if Wall Street want to trap here, there is a good chance they'll go for a stop hunt if they do get a lot of interest. This is the kind of day that I look for stop hunts. Burak says, don't smash, please kindly hit the like button. Thanks, man. Barber 129. Really? Right now? Where are you, Barber? Oh, it's 150. 145. It's all right. Cold steel, $5. Hi, can you have a look at BGFV? Sure can. Sure can. So at resistance here, a little bit on the NAS just yet. Very small time frame here. We hit 779 on Tesla. Tesla up 0.27. Rolls-Royce, another congratulations to Ulrich and a few others. Fantastic. BGFV. Big Five. Previous resistance, a little bit of support. Go to the 2 hour. Yeah. I mean, this is the box area where if you wanted to buy, I guess you would be. It's had that nice base formation, got a great rally. It's a fantastic trade. You're looking for it to break above here, which is 2770-ish. It does seem to be basing here. This is the right level for it to bounce off. If you like the stock, it's not the best, but I like that 4 hour. I like all the moving averages that are sitting here. I just want that follow through to continue. So just a little bit more action and then scaling, getting more scale, and then looking for that big aggression. I think scaling would be the practice play in that case, Cold Steel. Thank you very much for the $5 donation. Monica Nakamura, $5. Missed FX Evolution Friday. Sorry about that. Glad to be back with the apes. Absolutely, Monica. What's your favorite stock right now, Monica? Let us know in the chat. Solid Stank says, looks bearish today. So yes, this US 100. Let's have a look at the 5 minute. Did we hit that little resistance and then sell off it? We did. 15,230, a little bit of resistance. The hour of power of retail. I think it'll be all sorts of madness going on here. Looking for a closure below the 15.2 level. But then you've also got this issue down to around 15,170. Somewhere in this zone is a bit of an issue. If you shorted up here somewhere on Friday, congrats to you. David Taylor says, I super chatted for QS earlier in case it was missed, Tom. Oh, sorry about that, David. I'll certainly do it for you. QuantumScape. Good break, man. This was a great break. I think it was a bit of stock twits getting in on it. How do I feel about this break? I feel like it should come down. I don't know if I want to buy here, but I do like this level. Previous resistance becomes support, moving averages, crossing, everything. So go to 1 hour. 20 moving average, maybe a little bit of bounce support there as well. Been bounced off. Other than that, you got nothing to go off, man. I like this level a lot, this level. But this 20 moving average is the only other thing I can see from a glance because it was such a ferocious move. So right now it's consolidating. I would watch for either a new breakout high, and then you can maybe scale in as it goes off with the pump, or somewhere around the 20, or of course the pullback here. That would be the key levels. Currently, US 100 down 1.16%. Look for, if you're a bear, look for closures underneath this zone, pullbacks, and then resells off there. Hey, I wouldn't be sad if we get 14.8. I'll show you my plan if it does occur. This is just if it does occur. The Nasdaq, massive channel. And that would be my Christmas present. I'm sure a few of you would hate me if it happened. This level here is what I like. Look at this. Bottom, 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 bottom. Resistance, resistance, resistance. But it gets better. Think about it. If it gets down to this level, about 14,050, 14,100, and it does bounce there, what do we get to? What is so cool about that, guys, is that we then get to take profit on the trend line again. Yeah. I'm excited if that happens. This would be a Christmas for Tom in whatever month it happens. I would be Christmasing all over that because I would love to position some further money into the Nasdaq. Some of us would love it, yes. But that's about as deep as I would expect. I don't think I'd ever expect more than that in the current market conditions. 10% is right in line with a lot of things. Who knows? These are the big key levels I'm looking at, though. It's got 14.8, great support. We knew that. We had that drawn up. You obviously have this level here, which is where it currently is. If it closed underneath, I mean, I'm really thinking we could get back down into that. Then we've got 14.5, previous support zone, and then we've got that 14.1. Tom's salivating over that buy level. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not getting bearish on it there. Believe me, that ain't happening. Apple falling. That's yes, it would be. Monica likes triple O. Beta oil. Oh yeah, Beta shares oil. ETF. Look at what Contango does. That's Contango. Remember when negative oil happened last year? That's what happened to the oil ETF, because people don't realize this. When you go look at US oil, you think, oh, it looks perfect. I could have bought oil at $10 and made $1 bazillion. If it looks that easy, remember, it usually isn't. Just like the VIX. The VIX is not as easy as just buy 16, make money. Or I'm going to hold it till it spikes above 20. The hold cost is real. And when Contango happened on oil, that's a good example of how painful it can be. That is a good example of how painful it could be. So it seems like today is all about technology going down. We've got Square, Apple down 1.86%, slamming through 141, 142 being the big support here. Amazon 3352, guys. We're looking at about a 3310 ideally for the support zone. Thank you as well to the 1,000 people plus sticking with us here. And then we've got PLTR. If you're looking at that, about 2730 is the zone you're looking for it to bounce off. Snap down. Yeah, everything's down in most of these stocks, except for Tesla. And that's because Tesla is incredibly strong on the charts. It's got the retail power behind it, and it's trying for that new high, 780.54. Hopefully this shows you guys that when you find a good trend, even in bad markets, good trends powered by crazy retail people, because Tesla is crazy retail people, a lot of them. And I'm loving it. It shows you that it can actually buck the trend. And it certainly is at this point. Let's hope it gets through that 780 because it allows the floodgates through. Looking for Chewy to double bottom on the 15-minute. Oh, Scott, man. If you're not on the 15-minute chart, that's never a good sign. I have bad news, Scott. I kind of feel like it's going to 65, bro. I'm sorry, man. Cody says apes huddle. That's right. Lumen breakout. Let's have a look at Lumen. Lumen. Yep. Fantastic chart. I love the chart. I love it. It's great. It's all the principles we teach here on the stream. These are my favorites. I love the favorites. Yes. If you're interested in finding out more about my favorite trades as well, remember, guys, mentoring with doing group sessions. If you're interested, you can check it out, FX Evolution. If you want to come in and do some private hangout kind of things where you learn about some of my favorite setups, etc. We will open up November very soon. October is done. You guys are very keen. So that's good. We've got Burak coming to it as well. Is Adobe in a downtrend now? Hard to read. Let's have a look. ADBE. ADBE. Yes. It looks nasty. And it's super sugar rushed. I actually think it went too high. That looks nasty and overpriced, unfortunately. What was the other one I was looking at? Autodesk. ADSK. That just to get through here. Like a partial scale. And that looked like it was basing a little bit. Didn't quite get above all the moving averages. But yeah, I would imagine that's a partial scale. Adobe looks really gross. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys sticking with us today. Thank you for coming on Monday as well. And it looks like today will be a little bit red here in the US 100, obviously 15,120 now. Keep watching the US 10-year. If this keeps spiking, that will bash around the Nasdaq. And unfortunately, if the Nasdaq holds this low, or fortunately, I could see us getting back down to the 14.8. If we go to the QQQ, I'll show you what this means. So basically, this was the resistance we talked about in the weekend video. We've got previous support, resistance 20, resistance 20. It's coming down underneath. If it does close bearish somewhere in this weird land, I'd be thinking more towards that 360 for the QQQ, at least in an initial. Got one question coming in from the mod, so let me see what that is, and then I might have to leave you. Lieutenant Dan, Tesla's been euphoric for 6 years. Exactly. You can't bet against the euphoria. Cheers, Tom. Hope lockdown ends soon. Oh, man. You and me both. You and me both. Just got stop hunted on end phase. Let's have a look at it. Yeah. Well, they made a new low. Not sure if it's a stop hunt, but yes. If it reverses, okay, so tomorrow, if it's like this, yes, you got stop hunted. So bad luck, bro. Wait for the confirmations. I guess what you were doing was probably looking at these two, seeing the follow through and scaling. You needed it to close above 160. And if it had, then yes, I believe you would have been very successful. Keep at it. Look for those types of things that we just showed before. They're fantastic. The lumens and things. They're great setups. Susa says, great session today, Tom. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. Just got stopped out of net. Oh, I do love myself some net. Cloudflare is a great company, and it is a little bit overpriced. I went psycho down here on it. I loved Cloudflare here. I kind of want it cheaper. Looks like a moving average somewhere on like maybe a, I don't know what it might be, like a 2-day or something is what it's holding. Yes. All right, guys. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow live. See you tomorrow for the daily video. And of course, practice risk management, guys. Be careful out there. And hopefully you're starting to see some of the things that I see in the markets, some of the kind of manipulation tactics. And just remember this as well. If you don't come back to this stream, just keep an eye on this. If this market does this, where we've got a peak, a trough, a lower peak, and then we get through 14.8, don't be surprised if we go all the way downtown to the 14,054. This could be the same as we had with the 10 years before, where the Nasdaq weakened. Remember March? The Nasdaq weakened. Let's have a look at the US 500 during March. A blip compared to the Nasdaq. So if the US 10 years go up, we might see weakness in the Nasdaq. Do not be surprised if we can get a 14.1. It's all about the 14.8. 14.8, 14.8, 14.8 should it occur. Catch everybody. Bye for now.